Okay, I'm back. I'm back in the shop and back in the workshop. I'm back home. I just spent a week and a half in Knoxville, Tennessee, doing some work for work. Great place, great people. Had a really good time and really enjoyed being there. But very glad to be back. So today I'm going to do a bunch of different things. But primarily I want to work on trying to see if I can make the Hell's Forge Forge Weld. I already did some work this morning and a bit earlier I did some stuff. But I want to see for sure if I can actually get it to weld. What I did, and I'll show that at some point in the video, is I made some hooks to put belts on because I got a new belt grinder. And I'll show that. I was going to do an unboxing for it, but decided not to because I just wanted to get busy. It's my first day back in the shop, so I wanted to make sure that I wanted to get going. I was pretty anxious to get back and get started and get going. So I went to the store and I bought a vise, and not the prostitute kind. I got some soapstone. I got some borax to do the forge welding. Soapstone to mark the metal, and a bunch of steel because I want to do some twists. I want to do a basket style twist for the pokers, but of course for that I'll have to make sure that I can actually forge weld with this. So my first attempt, I'll show you guys later, but my first attempt wasn't very good. As I was hammering it, it ended up not welding, despite having the borax on it and in there. I don't think I got it hot enough, but I'm not exactly sure. So I actually folded it over again and tried to forge weld it a second time. Put more flux on it, more borax on it, and tried that again, and it still didn't work. The last bit, as I was hammering it, it was squishing out. It was squishing the middle part out of the fold, so it just didn't work. I'm going to have to try something different. And what I think I'm going to try actually is just cutting off a piece of the square bar. I'll grind it clean on my new belt grinder, and then I'll put it in the forge, and actually I'll tack it together with the welder and then put it in the forge and see if I can get it to weld. Again, there's not a whole lot of information on the internet or on YouTube about these Hell's Forge forges. And one of the questions that was asked on Amazon was, will it forge weld? And the answer was yes, it'll get hot enough to forge weld without any trouble. So I want to demonstrate that and then load this up as a response to that question. All right, so cue the intro and let's get started. Okay, this is 1/4 inch square bar. It is extra regular steel from Home Depot. And I'm going to figure out how to get the extension cord set up and connected so that I can turn this on. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'll be right back, and I'm going to actually just cut a section of this off so that I can get it welded. Forgot all about it. Be right back. Okay, just like magic, I'm back. I cut this much off the end of the bar. Like I said, I just want to make sure that I can actually forge weld this. So let's grind the end of this off and clean it up a bit, and then I'll get the welder going. We'll get these stuck together. All right, cue some music because this is going to be loud. Well, that looks like about as close as I'm going to get it. If you take a look real quick, you'll see that I didn't weld it evenly. I mean, that's not really welded. It didn't really weld anything. But the bar is stuck and it's not done evenly. You can see there's a little bit of a rise on this side here, which means it's a bit short on that side, so it's twisted a bit. But that's why we're doing this, just experimenting and trying to get better at it. So I'll reset everything and get the forge lit, and we'll start seeing if we can forge weld this. All right. Okay, as you can see with the close-ups that I did, it didn't weld. I don't know if it's because it didn't get hot enough. I don't know if it wasn't clean properly. Clearly, when I welded it together, it didn't get together very well at all. And you can see it's just, there's a line running right down the middle of this where it just didn't weld at all. So, so back to the drawing board. I will get some footage of the first one that I did. I did one earlier, and that one didn't weld either, but it seemed to do better than this one did. And I'm not sure why. It's the same steel, presumably the same steel. I bought them both at the same place at the same time. I'd imagine they were from the same shipment, so who knows. So I'll get some footage of that one. It worked better. There you go. That's what we have. So Forge welding in the Hell's Forge, first attempt and now second attempt. Didn't work. I'm gonna have to do some more research on the Google tubes to figure out exactly what I'm doing and what I'm doing wrong. So let's figure out what we learned. Okay, what we learned today. Forge welding is hard. Gonna wait for that car to go by. And forge welding is hard. The way they make it look on Forged in Fire, and when you watch it on, people doing this on YouTube, there's clearly a lot of time and effort and practice that has gone into what they're doing. And just firing up the forge and throwing some metal in there and saying, let's weld it, is a good way to start, but don't expect phenomenal results right away. I'm not sure what I need to do to make that work, but I'll start looking around, do more research. That's what I need to do. Actually, what I need to do is just be better. I need to be better at what I'm doing while I'm doing this. That's one thing that I need to do for sure. I learned that I'm no good at welding. I think I need to slow down when I do that stuff. I should have checked the size of the metal and made sure that I had the voltage or current set right and the feed, the speed of the feed set right. I also need more lighting. Although it may have looked fine on the camera, when I put the mask down and looked through it, I could barely make out the line that was between the two pieces of metal. And that made it very difficult to figure out where to even aim the thing. The speed of the wire feed wasn't set right and the voltage wasn't set right, so it was bouncing all over the place, and was making more of a mess than it was doing anything else. I also need to get a more powerful power strip, because I kept tripping the ground fault circuit on that and making it pop. And I'd have to go back and turn it back on and then start over again. Finally, it was too much of a mess and I just gave up. I learned that the belt grinder's lots of fun, but it's crazy powerful, and it's going to take a lot of time to get used to how to keep something straight. It was rocking back and forth against it this way, right? Up and down this way, as well as back and forth this way. So keeping things perfectly straight against the little back plate that's on there is really difficult. And for smaller pieces, I'm gonna have to figure out a better way to do it, because that little piece that I cut off the bar just wanted to bounce all over the place. So I have to learn how to do that more better. Although when I had it this way, it was bouncing, but when I turned it vertically, it did seem to do a little bit better, but that raised a whole nother set of you're not holding it straight issues. So Forge welding's hard. Electricity is, makes things go bad. The welder needs to be set properly. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff to learn today. So as always, if you like the content, like what you're seeing, and you like taking, you want to take this journey with me, find out how it is that you do all this stuff. I'm going to document everything that I do and every piece that I do, and show you step by step. Well, maybe not step by step, but at least show you the steps that I'm taking to figure out how to do all this stuff. So hit the subscribe button, and then click the little bell. That makes the bell go off in the Google office, and that drives them crazy, and that's kind of funny, so do that. And that also lets you know every time I upload a new video. It'll alert you and send you a message or do whatever it does when the bell goes off at the Google office. So subscribe. Do it, because every time that you every time someone subscribes, a kitten purrs, and if you don't like kittens, then what's wrong with you? So do it. Subscribe. All right. See you next time.